Hey.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Cool.
Good.
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 This is the fourth time we've recorded this one.
No, it's just the third time.
The third time.
It's just the third time.
After the second time, it's all the same due to some technical difficulties. So, what we've been trying to do, I think, with this podcast is time it so that we end up having like a regular schedule, and by doing so, we end up like doing that thing where you're like standing outside the double Dutch ropes and you're just like kind of waiting for like oh. So what we've decided to do instead is just put the jump ropes down. Mm-hmm. We're going to record at reasonable times instead of trying to keep it on an actual schedule.
Yeah.
And then it's probably going to end up being a little bit more frequent.
Yes.
Why are we talking about business?
This is a business podcast.
Why are we getting so serious?
Your business advice.
Right at the top.
If you're trying to start a business.
Wait. Oh, I was going to say like this would be a great place for people who do business stuff
business
to contact us, and then we can be like, here's our business ad, and then all right, we're back. Hope that you subscribe to that business thing.
You're very hard to follow right now.
Sorry, I had 4 shots of espresso.
Hey.
Hi.
To all the bartenders out there, sometimes people don't want double caffeine, even if it is free.
Do you mean like baristas?
Coffee bartenders.
Baristas.
Coffee tenders. Coffee tender.
Tendies.
Tendies. To all the tendies out there, be it a barista, coffee tender.
Alcohol tender.
Alcohol tender.
Pour me a drink, alcohol tender.
Pour me a drink, tender man.
But we're back. I'm just imagining like if you were sort of mainlining our podcast, you start every episode like, oh, time to listen to them talk about how they're back after a long time, even though I just got here.
This is Podcabbage.
Welcome to My Podcabbages, a podcast about Avatar: The Last Airbender, hosted by me, Summer.
And me, Noah.
Noah's auditioning for something. Some loud boy career.
I'm auditioning for the guy who only speaks at the very beginning of Jeopardy.
Okay. Well, that's also Alex Trebek. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, he just says it backstage before he walks.
You can see like as it's like zooming in on the stage, he's like standing, like he's leaning back away from his mic and yelling, just like you.
You can see him like backstage, and he has like his hands cupped over his mouth, kind of like half hiding behind.
So this is a podcast about
Jeopardy.
Avatar, The Last Airbender.
Our categories today are
cabbage, plots,
scary dreams, cutting your hair, lightning,
betrayal,
sisters. Do they lie?
Let's find out. I did overestimate how many fun facts I could milk from the internet about this good show. People just don't really know a lot about it, which is why like when the creator says something on Twitter, everyone freaks out because it's like, oh, you didn't even really put this in the comics. I'm also just on the edge of my seat waiting for more information about the Netflix show. We don't even really have much of a cast. All we know is that it's not whitewashed.
Yeah.
So I guess, as that information comes out, if they leak anything, we'll be able to share that. But otherwise, like fun facts, can't really find anything. I was looking at some of the stuff about Azula. She's, because obviously we get a lot more Azula in this episode. She is really good at, I don't know if you've noticed this, like unarmed combat. Like she can pretty much beat anyone in a fight without even using firebending.
Yeah. I guess that like just sort of runs in the family.
Uh,
Like Zuko and Azula have like
That's true, but like
Zuko's got sword
Azula-
fighting training.
but
or something
Azula's
or
just
whatever,
good
right?
with her hands. Like she can just like deal with it.
She can punch
She like
or whatever.
yeah, spoilers. I'm getting
Fighting
ahead of
moves.
myself. But yeah, she is very good at lots of things. And also, there is sort of an interesting thing about again, I guess spoilers, but we can see that she knows how to bend lightning just like from her body. In this
Mhm.
episode we learn. And I guess like this is a technique, I think it's going to come up a little bit more later, but this is like a technique that requires you to be like completely in control of your emotions, which is interesting. So like
Yeah.
I was reading, it's like she's just like evil. She has a peace of mind about how evil and destructive she is.
Yeah.
Which is a really strange. Chaotic is the opposite of like this energy. It's like
Mhm.
a very controlled anger,
Hang
which
on.
is
I'm going to have to
interesting.
see like a leaf crunch chart on this.
What do you mean?
Like, I think I would say it's like lawful, chaotic, evil, alignment cube.
She's an extremely complicated character. We're certainly
Mhm.
going to see more sides of her as we go, but we also get some just good stuff because we know Iroh has control over lightning in a way as well. So some good interactions in this episode. So since I don't have any fun facts, maybe I can just find a fun fact about like, I don't know, something else.
Like the ocean or something like
Just
that.
anything. Band-Aids. Did you know Band-Aid is a brand name?
Yes.
Did you know a dumpster is a brand name?
I do remember finding that out.
I found this out. I learned this because my mom tried to use the word dumpster in one of her books, and she was told she was not allowed to because it is a brand name. Here's 100 fun and interesting facts about basically everything. The man with the world's deepest voice can make sounds that humans can't hear.
Okay. Sounds like this.
Nice. Samsung tests phone durability with a butt-shaped robot.
They just had one lying around. There's like, oh, finally, we have a good use for this.
Peanuts aren't technically nuts.
Oh.
Cats have fewer toes on their back paws.
Interesting.
We'll have to investigate that later.
Did you know that cats have 8 nipples?
Oh, here's a fun fact.
What?
We got a new cat again.
Oh, yeah.
Every time we come back, we're gonna have another cat.
Did you know we have 16 cat nipples in our house?
No, please don't say
Okay.
that. We have 2 cats now. Just say it like a normal person.
We have an announcement.
We have 2 cats now. Can you guess their names?
I forgot them.
It's Tweet and Law, like the little fishies.
Hmm.
The balance has been restored. Yeah. Why don't we just like start talking about the episode?
Okay.
So this one, since we've already recorded this episode 3 times, we're gonna go ahead and just try to do it from memory.
Okay.
I'm sure we can do
So Aang's having a weird dream and he sees himself. He's in the avatar state. And
Yeah.
he's like, oh no, that's me and I'm scary.
it. So he's having nightmares about seeing himself in the avatar state and how scary that is. I'm just translating what you said.
Yeah. Thank you.
Into professional speak.
Yeah. You're like a man now.
Man simulator.
2019.
But he wakes up, he goes up to the top of, they're on like a little ship going somewhere. I think they've been, they're setting sail to find this little place where they're meeting a general who's going to like hook them up with someone who's going to escort them to Omashu. This is like such a weird convoluted plot.
Mm-hmm.
But so he goes, it's like the middle of the night. He goes up to the top on the, what do you call that? The
deck.
The deck of the ship, I guess. And Katara meets him up there and she sees that he's upset. And he kind of explains to her that he doesn't like avatar stating because it's scary, right?
Yep.
That's about what happens.
It's like being the Hulk.
And she's like, oh, it's fine. But this is a little bit of foreshadowing for sort of the content of this episode. Before they get to where they're going, Paku is on the ship with them, just sort of seeing them off to this next place. Let me look up what it's called really quick. No, it's just the Earth Kingdom base.
Okay.
But before they get to where they're going, Paku gives the kids some gifts. He gives Aang some waterbending scrolls, and he gives Katara some Spirit Oasis water, and he gives Sokka nothing.
Yeah.
Just pulls out his pockets, little moths fly out.
Yeah, just some spirit bath water.
Yeah.
Oh, it's nothing. It's just the bath water of the moon god and the ocean god.
Well, actually, I took this to a lab, and I don't find any fish scales in it.
It's because they're not scaly. These fish are completely smooth. You'll find that
These fish are smooth as hell.
not a bump in them.
So they get to the Earth Kingdom base, and they meet up with General Fong. He seems cool enough. They're very like welcoming. They're very excited to have them there. They greet them with open arms.
Meanwhile,
oh yeah. So cut to some spa.
Yeah, they're just at like I don't know how they
well, let's go back. So like in the last
Okay.
episode, the season finale of season 1, they just kind of wander off on a little boat. Remember?
Yeah.
Because they like Aang and his friends were still just at the northern water tribe, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And like Zuko could have just like casually walked up and like put handcuffs on Aang, but he and Iroh took off on a little boat just to like get some rest.
Yeah, they were very tired.
Yeah. So they must
They went directly to a spa.
They went directly to a spa. I looked it up.
Made a beeline.
This is the only place it is ever referenced. So specifically what it's for. They advertise like, you've been chasing the Avatar, trying to restore your honor? Are you an uncle who likes to drink tea? Stop by our conveniently located spa.
It's literally like just around the corner from.
But it looks hot too. So they
Okay.
must have gone really far.
I think that this is like underground, underneath the Spirit Oasis. Or like this is
But we see like Iroh has like shells. So he's been to the beach and everything.
Okay.
So
it's a beach spa
it looks,
river.
yeah, it looks very tropical. So they definitely went very far, which is funny because you'd think they'd try to find something nearby so they could come back when they were ready to pick up Aang. But it is what it is. I guess they know that Aang's like headed toward the Earth Kingdom next. So, But Zuko doesn't seem to be enjoying himself. He's having his little emo moment because it is the anniversary of the day he was banished, and of course he has like that marked in his calendar.
And his face.
Iroh like tries to cheer him up by saying something like, "You wouldn't have been banished if you weren't loved." Just okay, yeah. What a not sure how to interpret that. He says it comes out wrong, but like, what is the right way to say that?
If the Fire Lord does care, he wouldn't have banished.
He would have just killed you. Wait, I mean, if he didn't care, he would have killed you, but he loves you, so he banished you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That's pretty much all we have in this sort of scene, right? Yeah. So then we cut to a big ornate ship where Azula is finally. I say this, I feel like it's been like 3 episodes since she's like had an appearance, but it's because we've watched this one so many times. But yeah, this is really her first like speaking episode, right?
Yeah.
Well, kind of.
Yes, it is.
Ish. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So she's brought out on her little platter. She's brought out on a silver platter, and one of her ship boys is telling her that the tides aren't going to let them go wherever she's trying to go.
And then she says, tides want to.
Millennials and their tides pods.
Azula says, the thing you got to know about tides is. Wait, you got to say it because you can do Azula voice.
Do the tides command this ship?
No, you got to say, the thing you got to know about tides.
The thing you got to know about tides. What are some other fun meme things that Azula should say?
Podcasting.
Podcasting. Zuko, sounds like you've been podcasting. Iroh, I think you could really benefit from some podcasting. Oh, big hat. That's not even same hat. Fuck, I fucked it up. I can't remember. Everyone's saying different things all the time.
Join our Patreon for more Azula voice.
Honestly, though, like having people request things in Azula voice isn't a terrible idea. We'll just do that for free.
Yeah.
You can send us I don't know. We don't Twitter. You can send us anything on Twitter. Add us on Twitter, and I'll do it in Azula voice.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she's telling him that the tides won't kill him, but she will, or something like that. Yeah. I don't know how that logic works out.
But she makes it sound about tides. She makes that they want to kill you, and I
also want to kill you.
I also kind of.
So we have that in common.
So mostly want to, but I can negotiate.
See, that's interesting because he's saying like the tides aren't going to allow this. And she's like, interesting, the tides will kill you. Mm-hmm. I won't. Okay, so then maybe we should listen to the tides? That seems to be the thing that would make sense. Okay, it's fine. Mm-hmm. She makes it sound very, very good. And then we cut back to Aang, who is having a discussion with, that's where we are, right? With General Fong, probably.
Yeah, they're at the Earth Kingdom now.
Yeah. So General Fong is telling Aang that, you can like kill people like so easy. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you can kill people so easy. Mm-hmm. So like, well, what are you doing? Like, just go kill.
I'm telling you, Miranda, you can
no,
kill people.
Can't do this. This is a terrible crossover. You do Steve voice, I'll do Azula for the rest. This is a character podcast now. No. So he's telling him, like, just go straight up to the Fire Lord and just like kill him. It'll be so easy. You'll end the war. He does actually make like a pretty good point. Like, people are dying while you like wait around and do this hokey pokey nonsense. Mm-hmm. But I mean, there is a reason for it.
Yeah.
The whole grand destiny, the whole reason he was frozen in the iceberg for that long, and it's all about timing. So,
and it is stressful.
Katara actually tells him, I think I'm probably jumping around a little bit, but Katara tells him at some point, like, you might be considering doing this thing that General Fong has suggested of just learning how to do Avatar state business and just going straight to the final boss, just speedrunning the war. But we don't like to see you in the Avatar state. It's very scary. It's like a nice little character moment for Katara, just really showing the writing in this is like very good about actually giving characters like the illusion. No, not the illusion. It makes them clearly empathetic, which is something that you don't typically get from kids shows. It's usually a little bit more shallow, but as we've liked to point out, this is not a shallow show.
Mm-hmm. I'm saying on the wiki, meanwhile, Azula is practicing lightning generation, which I assumed was like... I assumed was like either...
Some kind of weird eugenics thing.
I thought it was either the generation after Gen Z or like some boy band.
It was like a DDR game. So yeah, she's on her ship, like doing her cool peace of mind, like cold-blooded killer lightning stuff. It's kind of cool to see. I don't think anything else happens in that though. We're just seeing that she can do that, right?
Yeah, and she has. They're royal advisors.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes. Okay, so they're like the sort of like old lady twins that you get also in like Series of Unfortunate Events. I think they're voiced by the same people.
Their names are Lo and Lee.
Lo and Lee. They are like giving her sort of feedback, but they're just mostly impressed. And Azula seems to be the one who's like being the hardest on herself because she does have like one single hair fall out of place and it bothers her. So some little character exposition.
They do have one of the more ambiguous character roles in the show.
Lo and Lee?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just,
They're mainly just sitting around.
your general old
like,
lady cronies.
critiquing Azula. I don't know
They're
if
basically like the like Azula's Iroh.
yeah, I don't know if Azula like hired them or if they were like assigned
I'm guessing they're
to
related
her.
in some way. I don't know. That would be something fun to look up and come back with information on. Some background on them. At some point, we see Zuko and Iroh. Is that next?
Oh yeah.
Their shells.
So we have Azula. She fires lightning into the sky, and Iroh actually hears it.
Oh, he does?
That's what the wiki says.
Interesting. I missed that.
And he's like, "Oh shit." So maybe that's like
Lightning in a clear blue sky. God damn it. It was going to sound so cool when I said it.
say it again.
Lightning in a clear blue sky. That's like the bat signal for Azula. She's coming.
Oh.
That's what the bat signal is, right? Batman's coming.
Yeah.
Here he comes.
It says it. Where they just like get a Sharpie and they write, or like the Sharpie extra large on like a spotlight, and they just write down Batman's coming.
Batman's coming.
The misconception about the bat symbol is that they're calling Batman, but it's actually
It's a
from
warning.
Batman. Just letting people know that he's coming. Iroh! Wait.
Oh.
Zuko!
Ooh.
Look at all these shells I've collected.
Ah.
I will treasure these shells for years to come.
Whoa, yeah.
I don't care about your shells, Uncle.
Sorry, I just heard seagulls when you did. There's seagulls outside doing the laugh track for that one.
Where's all my seagulls in the audience?
I don't know how to like do like the Kramer opening the door really fast sound, but
I don't even know what it sounds like.
I feel like he does it silently.
We have a door in here. We could just slam the door.
You don't slam a door when you open it.
You don't open doors like I do.
No, look, we'll just slam the door and then we'll play it in reverse.
How else are you supposed? How else? Oh wait, no. Like I was thinking, like you slam the door open, the doorknob hits a wall. Okay. It hits that classic doorknob mark in the wall that
Right.
I put in every house because I slam every door open.
Okay. Azula's here suddenly.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we are, right?
Yeah.
It seems like we just saw her.
no.
Okay, I was like, we just saw her on the ship lightning bending. She just like teleported here.
Okay.
It does seem like that when she ends up in the scene, though. She does just kind of teleport. Just like us, teleporting to this scene probably a little too early. But Azula is there to give Zuko the news that apparently his father wants him back home for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And Zuko is very conflicted about this for obvious reasons. We're not really sure how he feels. He's not really expressing his emotions right now.
Yeah, Azula just says, Dad says he's sorry and he misses you.
Yeah, and Zuko's just kind of like, Dad misses me? Or something like that. And then Iroh's like, He's clearly not buying this at all, but he doesn't want to like be a wet blanket or anything. So, but yeah, that's just what Azula in this scene just comes to sort of deliver that news. Jump back to a scene that we skipped about Aang, right? Doing something?
So Aang's talking to Sokka and Katara, and Katara says, no, you gotta master all the elements properly. And Sokka's like, no, just go straight to the Fire Lord and just
glow it up.
Glow it up.
So I think, it's sort of like an angel devil on the shoulder kind of scene where Katara is the angel, obviously.
So we get a little montage where they try to trigger the Avatar state. Aang has...
Oh, yeah. It's like, it made me think of like being in elementary school and you have like the hiccups and all your classmates are like, oh, do this. You can just do this.
Yeah.
And like by the end of the day, you're like covered in water and earth and fire and air. And turns out it's just mud.
Mm-hmm. They give Aang coffee.
essentially what seems to be coffee.
They try to scare him by putting Momo's head on Sokka's body.
Jesus. If they did that genuinely, it would scare me too. Little Frankenstein moment.
They throw mud at him.
It doesn't work. None of that works.
Yeah.
Aang just gets like a very high caffeine high and wet. And
a
muddy.
little scared.
So all in all, fun day, but no Avatar state. So we do finally get to see Zuko's like genuine reaction to the news that Azula brought, which is that he's excited.
Yeah.
He wants to go home because this was like the whole goal all along.
Yeah.
But I guess the excitement of it is sort of clouding his judgment about like, this is something, it's like very relatable. Like when you hear, like when you're getting what you want, suddenly you kind of lose your ability to think critically, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like if someone hands you like
$1.
my Blango Brank.
What? Your Blango Brank?
Blango Brank.
Oh. Your Blango
nobody
Brank.
ever does anything for me.
What?
I couldn't think of a single example of getting what I wanted in my Blango Brank.
Boko's been
Boko's Pinted.
Blango Brank.
Iroh is trying to tell him, like, nothing in our family is as it seems. You should really take this news with a grain of salt. And then Zuko blows up on him, just saying, like, I'm finally achieving my dream and I'm about to restore my honor. And here you are, you're not supporting me, which is kind of like a little parallel to like how we earlier saw Katara. Like you see people like trying to decide when to support someone and when to be able, like, when are you supposed to be a wet blanket for the people you love?
Yeah.
It's a really hard thing to know. It's a very relatable thing in real life. And Iroh is clearly struggling to figure out how to help Zuko here. There's like not really anything he can do.
Because he knows he knows the Fire Lord, who is his brother.
This is sort of like the classic sort of parenting paradox, like conundrum of like, as a kid, you don't want to listen to your parents, but sometimes they're right. And it's just hard to know as a parent when to push your kids to do something for their own good, and as a child when to like stand up for yourself. Yeah, it's some good flex.
Yeah.
Challenge.
Then Aang has another dream.
Aang seems to be having nightmares again about the Avatar state, especially after hearing Katara tell him that it's scary for his loved ones to see him like that. So I think this is where he like wakes up and he just like turns to Sokka and he's like, I don't want to do this. And then Sokka's like, okay.
Okay, I agree with you now.
Sure. Which is really actually nice.
That is very supportive.
Yeah. And you don't have to like have the whole fucking like Ron Weasley problem where it's just like the best friends are like fighting over like
it's just some dumb stuff or whatever.
Shit. Yeah. And then he goes to tell General Fong this, and Fong is like, oh, that's so disappointing to hear. And Aang's like, yeah, I mean, like, there's just no way to trigger the Avatar state unless I'm like genuinely in danger of being killed, which is a great thing to tell someone who's been trying to get you into the Avatar state.
And General Fong strokes his beard and is like, genuinely in danger, you say.
Of being killed, you say.
And then he literally throws his desk at Aang. And he falls out the window.
Yeah.
This is not an exaggeration.
Aang could have like literally died.
Yeah.
He's like, oh fuck, I killed the Avatar.
Sadly, you killed the Avatar.
Like, how did he think this is like a good idea? I don't know. It's just, yeah, it's funny. It's silly. And then, yeah, battle commence. Like we get all these earthbenders showing up, but it looks like they've already had this whole thing set up, like expecting Aang to like come to this conclusion. There's like a whole arena out there and everyone's already lined up to go. They've all got their like battle stone wheels. There is like a little moment where we see Zuko and Iroh like leaving the spa together. Because Iroh has changed his mind. He's like, okay, I'll support you.
Yeah.
Like the least I can, he sees he's not going to change Zuko's mind. So it's like the least I can do is go with him and like protect him as I have been doing. And then he sees like the ships coming in and like Zuko walking down towards them. And there's like this tiny little frame or two of two people standing next to each other.
Yeah.
It's kind of unclear who it is. It might be Iroh.
Like you got like a big boy,
and a little boy.
And a little boy with a ponytail.
And my first thought was that it was Iroh and Zuko when Zuko was like a little boy. My second thought was Iroh and his own son.
Yeah.
Could also be Zuko and his dad. Zuko in the future with his son, Zuko and an uncle we've never met before.
or it could be the Fire Lord and Iroh's son.
Ooh. Just
having a little uncle and nephew get together or whatever.
Could be Iroh and the Fire Lord because there's like a huge age difference. Anyway, I think it's like supposed to be sort of...
Could be Zuko and a smaller Zuko.
It made me think of like, because he sees Zuko sort of like going off to like get on a ship, like a little fire navy ship. And it made me think like maybe it was supposed to like be reminiscent of Iroh thinking about his little boy and how he let his little boy go off to war or whatever.
The war that his brother started.
Yeah.
Or continued.
There's a lot of like different layers to this little scene that it could... There's a lot of emotions that Iroh has lots of feels about his family.
Yes.
Mostly bad, some good. Love, hate.
The two emotions.
We talked about this little scene much better the last time we did this recording, but I think we hit all of the main things we wanted to say about it. So then we see Aang is just evading soldiers at the Earth Kingdom base right now. He doesn't want to fight. Obviously, that's his whole thing. He's having a hard time, though. They are really trying to kill him.
Yeah.
He has like a little Matrix moment up on the wall, doing his like little back bend. He runs up the wall. He does a back bend under the little Earth bullets. And then he bends spoons with his mind, like in the Matrix.
Yeah. They are shooting at him.
They are shooting at him.
They pull out like just regular looking guns.
Yeah. I thought you were trying to say like that you could technically call those wheel bullets. They're projectiles.
They're projectiles.
They're just really big.
But they also pull out real guns.
But they're not like they look like real guns, but they don't have like the whole like, you know, internal. It's not the same kind of like mechanical thing going on inside of a gun. I don't know how guns work.
You know, but it's the thing smashes the thing.
It's sort of like
thing goes boom.
But it's sort of like in Persona where they just look like real guns and they're actually like just using them to like channel their own like anger into little earth bullets.
So they're pointing the guns with one hand, and then with the other hand, they're like throwing rocks at him and pretending that they're shooting them.
Yes. Yeah. It just kind of helps with the motivation.
Yeah.
Like it helps them get into like the zone. You know what I mean? But luckily these big earth wheels have like holes in the middle of them. So we get lots of fun little acrobatics, like jumping through the holes and stuff. Some tire swinging action.
They look like giant
donuts?
Coins. Donuts too. They're like big donuts. But they also look like those coins. The little square holes cut out in the center. Which is...
Those are like the 5-cent pieces in Japan.
Yeah. And it is some like Banksy level imagery about the Earth Kingdom. You asked me.
Okay. I didn't ask you, but I do appreciate that interpretation. And then we see Zuko and Iroh approaching Azula's ship, and she looks happy, which should be like, that's where Zuko should have been like, oh, Iroh's right. Let's turn around here. This can't be good. Because we've only ever seen her looking like, well, first of all, I don't think we've ever seen her looking happy yet, which the only really like happy we see her is when she's doing something really evil.
Yeah.
Like genuinely like.
She's only happy when she's smirking.
She's only happy when she's smirking. I think that's a song. Like, you're only happy when it rains or something? I don't. And then like Azula's like, oh, general friend, go down and escort them up onto the ship. And he like goes down and he's like, yes, let's escort the prisoners onto the ship. And Azula's like, yes, now I can truly be evil without having to pretend. But then, yeah, so like cat's out of the bag. They are treating them like prisoners because obviously this was never going to be like a good thing.
Yeah.
But Iroh is like already ready for this, and he starts knocking the soldiers off of the bridge. There's like, I don't know how to explain this, but it was very funny to me. They're like, Zuko and Iroh are standing side by side on the bridge up to the ship. Mm-hmm. They're surrounded by soldiers, and Iroh throws all of the soldiers off of the bridge.
Yeah, you see, like the first shot is just Iroh throwing a bunch of solors off the bridge.
And then we zoom out and we see
the next shot.
We see Zuko throwing someone.
And one other person.
Okay. So Zuko tries. We zoom out and we see Zuko throw like the last person off of the bridge, and then it's just Zuko on the bridge by himself, which leads you to believe, or it leads me to believe, in a moment of shock, it looks like Zuko's throwing Iroh off. It's very funny. I had to watch it twice because, yes, that's exactly what it was. Just Iroh and Zuko, and then that's a really funny goof. I hope someone did that on purpose. Because you do have to like rewatch it to be like, oh, okay, that's a Fire Nation soldier. And then I think Zuko goes up and just starts fighting Azula. Is that right?
I think so.
But we're not there yet. So Aang is still having some earthbender troubles. Mm-hmm. Still trying to avoid being killed. Katara can hear some very loud noises coming from outside. Mm-hmm. And she's like, that doesn't sound like a friendly conversation. So she runs out, and Sokka is also seen running out from somewhere. Where was he? Oh, I think he was still up in the room where they had been talking to General Fong.
Yeah.
So he comes running down. Katara comes running down, and they see, lo and behold, this person who's supposed to be on their side trying to kill Aang.
He makes quicksand, and he sloops Katara into it.
Yeah. Every millennial's worst fear. Or was it like Generation X that like if you asked any of them what their worst fear as a child was, it's quicksand.
Yeah.
Because for some reason, like all of the movies in the 90s just featured people getting stuck in quicksand.
Yeah.
Fong realizes he's probably not going to be able to kill Aang. He's like, God damn it, I'm not going to be able to kill Aang. But I could kill Katara. Mm-hmm. So he gets her trapped. And then it actually gets like really sad.
Yeah.
Like Aang just starts crying and he's like, you shouldn't do this. Like, what are you doing? Like, please, come on. This is ridiculous. And Fong is like, what the? He's like so evil in this. It's really weird. I don't know how he can like justify this to himself. But he basically just buries her completely alive. Yeah. Like her whole head goes underground and like seals up. So then, that does it. So Aang enters the Avatar state and Fong's like, yes, bazinga. Aang just destroys everything in the Avatar state.
Aang says an even louder bazinga.
Bazingo!
Bazingo.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, I don't know. Funnier. Yeah, so then we see Zuko fighting with Azula, who, like I said, she's not even firebending. She's just doing some like hand-to-hand, like like very impressive looking martial arts.
We see Zuko's fire daggers.
Oh, yeah. He's got little fire daggers.
Yeah.
And Azula is just kind of taunting him. She is just straight up about to kill him with lightning.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, in order to use the lightning bending, you have to have like this weird, like cold-hearted peace of mind. But this is like the part where I was talking about how Iroh can control lightning bending. So perfect opportunity for Iroh to jump in here and then he just grabs Azula's hand and like shoots the lightning somewhere else.
And then he just throws her off the boat.
Does he do that?
Yeah, he does that. He just throws her off the boat.
Good for him. Sometimes you just need a good splash in the face. Splash me in the face. Hey, did I ever tell you about how I used to talk in my sleep?
Used to.
Do I still do that?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay. Well, it used to be really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And like my mom would come in and check on me in the middle of the night. And there was... Sorry. I only know this because she told me this story and it's so funny and I've carried it with me to this day for this moment to be able to share it with the world. So she came in to check on me and just like turn off my movie or whatever. I used to watch movies while I fell asleep and she would come in and turn them off.
Yeah.
And right before she left, she says that I sat straight up in bed and opened my eyes and I just said, "Splash me in the face." And then I just lie back down.
Just splash me in the face.
Sometimes I still feel that way. Sometimes I do feel like someone needs to splash me in the face. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes you need a good splash in the face.
I mean, that's why you've been waking up like soaking wet every morning. I thought you were lucid those times. You say splash me in the face every morning. You don't have like a perspiration problem. Like I've been soaking you in water.
Oh, okay.
Every morning.
I thought it was just the waterbed that we don't have.
Back at Earth Kingdom Town.
Earth Base
Alpha. He releases Katara and he's like, Ayu.
Ayu.
John Madden.
Ayu. Question mark, explanation point.
Question mark, explanation point, extra mark, exclamation point.
So what does that have to do with this?
Excavation point.
Oh, he was excavating her, of course.
So Fong takes a little needle and hammer and kind of excavates Katara out of the ground. She's fine.
She's fine. She's dead, but
she's alive, but she's okay.
She's alive and she's not okay. Doesn't seem, actually, to be honest.
Is she okay? She's alive, but she's not okay. And he said, it was merely a trick.
He said that?
Yeah.
I feel like you're starting to write a fan fiction here.
He said, like, see, she's okay. It was just a trick.
But Aang is like, he's still in Avatar state mode.
And he's still trying to be like, no, you see, it's satire. When I was threatening your loved one, I was doing it ironically.
But you see, satire needs clarity of purpose, lest it be confused to be supporting that which it is satirizing.
Should we just say it in unison?
No.
Okay.
And then Aang is just blooped out of his body.
He just leaves his body.
He's like, bloop? Yeah.
He blues out of his body because he is blue.
Dabba dee dabba die.
Dabba dee dabba die.
That's what Roku says as he plucks him out of his body and carries him away on a magic carpet ride.
Just he's more like carried away by Roku. And Roku's like, okay, it's time. He's like this seems like a good time.
Maybe I should explain some things.
Roku says, hey, you're not busy right now, are you?
Man, I can't even remember the Magic Carpet Ride song, even though I used to sing it all the time.
I can show you the avatars. I really started with a low key there.
Show you the wonderful ways that you can die when you're in the avatar state.
I can show you the way you die. The only reason I remember that melody is the fucking Professor Oak and Jigglypuff cover of that.
Excuse me? You don't need to. You don't need to like pause the podcast to show me this song.
No, I'm gonna keep the podcast going.
Okay, well, I'll continue with the story. So what's that guy from the Matrix? Since we're on a Matrix
Keanu
thing,
Reeves,
other guy,
Morpheus.
got it in two. So Morpheus, Roku's doing a little Morpheus thing here. I forgot where I was going with this.
Show you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid. Tell me, Jigglypuff, now when did you last
What the
let
fuck?
your heart decide?
Okay, I think I get
I
it.
can open your eyes, take you wonder by wonder, over, sideways, and under, on a magic carpet ride.
What does he sound like you?
A whole new world.
This is what you're gonna sound like when you're 50.
A
That's
new
true.
fantastic point of view. No one to tell us no, or where to go, or say we are only dreaming.
You weren't lying. This is just a. Hey, this is starting to sound familiar.
Is it?
Yeah,
Why?
I think I recognize this melody from something. Oh, Aladdin.
Oh, it's from. Remember Aladdin? That movie came out earlier this year, right?
Yeah.
It's a new movie.
So it's amazing that they took this song from Pokemon the movie 2000 and used it in Aladdin.
Yeah.
I don't know how they got around that
I don't know how they got the
copyright.
rights.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess Pokemon's just not very strong right now. They're just selling all their rights.
Yeah, Pokemon really has been going downhill.
Anyway, about Avatar Roku.
Morpheus.
About Morpheus.
Hang on, I need to remember.
Hey, Summer,
what we're
how many
talking about.
threads do we have? I can't. I don't know what we're doing.
When you die in the game, you die in real life. Because the Matrix is just a game, right?
Mhm.
It's just a video game.
Yeah.
So when you go into the VR game of Matrix,
Yeah.
if you die there with your headset on, you die in the real world, and the avatar cycle is broken forever.
Yeah. Also, thank you for using the proper singular form of Matrix.
Yeah, people seem to think they've like really anglicized it, and they think that you can just say Matrix with the S on it, but like in the original language, it's actually just Matrix, and you don't have to actually make it plural.
What's that thing we said about satire?
It's bad. You shouldn't do it because people are stupid.
Okay.
That's what they should change the meme to say.
Satire is bad and you should do it because people are stupid.
I mean, I don't see a difference. Yeah, so we learn here for the first time that if the avatar dies in the avatar state, the cycle is broken forever and there will never be another avatar ever again.
Okay.
Would have been nice to know earlier because he's been in the avatar state
Yeah,
quite a few times.
He's talked to Roku for a little. He's literally like seen him in the spirit world. He had all that time then.
He returns to his body and then Fong is like, hell yeah, we finally got what we wanted. And I just like, I'm flashing back to him being like, look at all the destruction you've caused by doing nothing. Look at the people that are hurting. And then like cut to him now, like his whole like shit is wrecked.
He's just property damage everywhere.
And all of his little earthbender boys are like all fucked up now too.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to care about them. So I don't know what this guy's deal is. He seems a little bit hypocritical.
Yeah. He seems very ends justify the means, but
He's very in.
but he seems to also be really enthusiastic about these means.
These memes.
These means.
He does seem like a guy who would make bad memes. Hey, remember your little INTB MBTI corner? Why did we
Yeah.
abandon that?
I don't know.
What do you think Fong's MBTI is?
Definitely ESTJ.
You wouldn't say he's like an extreme N?
No.
Okay.
Extreme S.
Interesting.
If you're 100% S, I think you're the kind of person who would have no hesitation with the trolley problem. Whereas the people who are more N, I feel like you would have a little bit more hesitation.
But if you're like extremely N,
Mm-hmm.
you would let the cart do whatever it wanted because you're just a nihilist.
Yeah. Or you could, this is like some of the studies that Carl Jung, one of the great pushers of Myers-Briggs.
Oh, let's not use the word great.
One of the highest influencers.
Prolific?
One of the most prolific pushers.
I'm not sure what that word means, but I think
Myers-Briggs. In the final years of his life, he was doing studies about how people with 100% N could destroy trains with their mind.
Excuse me?
Just because they have that high of intuition that they could just destroy things. So, like, if you have a high enough...
Wait.
If you have a high enough N in you...
This is turning into like some weird
brain,
X-Men shit.
If you have a good grasp of...
N-men.
Of the flexible nature...
and
intuition of the world, then you can control things with your mind.
Okay.
So, like, if you have...
This is like how that game works.
Yeah.
Matrick.
Matrick. If you are a matric, which we are in...
The people are called matrices.
We are matrices. And when you have high enough intuition, you can actually solve the trolley problem by saving everyone or killing everyone, depending on your opinion.
Got it.
But if you're 100% S, then you'll just choose one way and then fail the trolley problem. Not everyone dies and not everyone lives, so.
I need a soundbite sort of reminiscent of like, that's deep and true. But it's just like me being like, got it, and then you cutting me off and saying, but. Okay, I think we followed this weird frayed thread as far as it goes.
Anyways, crawling back up the thread. War is a trolley problem. And General Fong
I've just put a
is an
kitten on the
S.
thread. Sorry.
Fong is
This is unlistenable.
extreme S. He's going to win the war by killing his own soldiers
With his mind.
with the Avatar and the Avatar's mind.
Okay. His mind. What happens next in the plot, though?
I don't know.
Where even are we anymore?
The main thing that you get from this is that the Avatar can die if you kill the Avatar and the Avatar state. No more avatars.
If you kill the Avatar, he will die.
Mm-hmm. If you kill... The Avatar dies when you kill it.
The kilder he is, the deader he is.
Returning to... Aang gets back into his body.
God, I wish that were me.
and he's a little stressed out because yet again he has caused much property damage.
Yes.
To General Fong's lovely estate.
It's damaged real estate.
General Fong's like still happy about this though.
Yeah, he's ecstatic. This is where we got off. He's just very happy about this. I guess he's happy. I mean, we know he's happy because he's figured out how to unlock the Avatar state.
I think this feels like more just like a celebrity thing. Like this all seem like a front to try to like, oh, I'm gonna see the Avatar in the Avatar state. Maybe.
I don't know. It's very hard, like genuinely difficult to figure out what his actual motivation is here because he seemed to think like, think of the short term, like people are dying, let's get this over with. And then he's like, in order to achieve what I want, we're going to like destroy more people and kill more people. And I don't know. It just like, what are you trying to do here?
This was the thread I was originally going to go on before I got really distracted.
Okay.
By something dumb that I can't ever even remember right
Let
now.
me sit down,
Okay.
finally. I'm sitting down now.
Fong seems to be one of those people who has sort of tendencies to be very aggressive and violent and tries to think about like ways to justify those ways and like a moral balancing
Interesting.
of the conscious. He's not like Azula where
So he's like a centrist.
yeah, he is a centrist. He's a radical centrist.
Okay.
He's not like Azula who it knows that she's evil and is content with it. He believes he's constantly trying to convince himself that he's good and everything he's doing is better. And that's the way that he can just not think about his actions.
This is just like what happens to people, like even good people who like attain any amount of power will just end up like this, I think.
Yeah.
So, interesting
Fong
character.
is brain poisoned.
He is brain baby poisoned. He's brain baby.
He's got baby brain poison.
Smooth baby brain.
Smooth
Like a baby's bottom.
Smooth baby brain. The last 15 minutes are unlistenable.
If you have been able to follow us all the way to this point, you must be like very close to us.
You have to have a very high IQ to understand
Jesus.
Podcabbages.
I'm just trying to like literally figure out where we are.
Sokka just knocks him out.
Oh yeah, he literally just like rides up and just hits him over the head.
God.
Thank God we're finally done with him.
We need Sokka to come in here and just knock us out.
Can you imagine if Sokka just like, this would be so epic if Sokka just like rode up to the White House and just knocked out Donald Trump and all of our problems were solved.
And then he looks at the staff and is like, anyone got a problem with that? And they all shake their heads no. And then like, America's fixed.
It's fixed. We did it. Politics.
So they just go on, they just go to Omashu by themselves.
Right.
They didn't even need this.
Yeah, one of the, it's so true. One of the soldiers is like, do you still need that escort? And Katara's like, we are literally good. And they fly away. Just a waste of our time.
Just a whole waste of time.
God.
We achieved nothing here, thanks.
And then we just sort of cut to Azula, who is standing in front of her soldiers, or just kind of people, just random people. And she's holding up a wanted poster for Zuko and Iroh. So they're like fugitives now, which, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Because they were prisoners to begin with.
That's true.
Do we know why the Fire Lord was like, okay, time to like bring them home and like lock them up? Is there like was there like a reason for this or? Oh, okay. So I'm just remembering there was the last scene in the episode of like the season finale of season 1. We saw the Fire Lord, Mark Hamill, rest his soul.
Yes.
Wait, no, he's fine.
He's fine.
I just like his soul and I want it to rest well. He is telling Azula that his brother has failed and it's time for her to like pick up the slack, which is interesting because that kind of implies that Ozai was actually expecting Zuko to do this, which I think we were sort of like bouncing around the idea that it was a wild goose chase. And maybe it was. Maybe this is all his own weird twisted timing.
Yeah.
But
it does. I'm just realizing this now that it does make sense to like banish him with sort of like an empty promise.
Right.
Instead of just banish him outright.
Right. Because then he might just like turn against him or whatever.
Yeah. So
that makes sense.
Just give him something to do so he doesn't actually fight back.
And I mean, I guess that does show like a weird level of love in some way.
Yeah.
Not love, but like, I'm not sure how I feel about killing my son.
Yeah. But it could also be like he sees his son as like a threat too.
That's true.
Because
so,
like
a
Iroh,
little bit of respect at least.
The thing is like Iroh could side with him because maybe he's afraid of Iroh too.
Interesting. Well, if he was afraid of both of them, he wouldn't send them out together. I don't think Ozai sees Iroh as a threat anymore. I'm sure Ozai understands how Iroh feels about things, but I'm guessing he thinks he's like kind of old and lazy now, and he's like, whatever.
Okay.
But I'm thinking the thing that really like changed Ozai's mind about having him run around was there was a scene in the last episode where Zuko and Zhao got into a huge fight, and we've already seen them fight and Zuko win. And I think like this last bit where Zuko was almost like actively trying to kill Iroh or Zhao.
Mm-hmm.
Ozai was like, okay, I need my generals to be able to do whatever they're doing without Zuko interfering. Especially if he's gotten word that Zuko is the blue spirit now, because he knows, he's not just a firebender, since like his firebending is so bad.
Yeah.
Like, he's actually good with swords. I didn't realize. But then we see, now that Zuko and Iroh have officially like sort of embraced, not embraced. Well, yes, they have not embraced in this moment yet, but they have accepted, and they understand that they are no longer welcome back to the Fire Nation as fire people.
Yeah.
And anything like Zuko's like goal here, I guess, is like null. He doesn't have a motivation anymore for like finding the Avatar. So like to a first time viewer, they're like, well, what's Zuko going to do now? The answer is cut his hair off.
Yeah. That's the first thing that you
Yes. You
do.
know. As soon as you're going through like an identity crisis, first thing you do is cut your hair off. Have a dramatic hair moment.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they do. He cuts off his iconic ponytail.
Finally.
I mean, this is obviously, it's very symbolic for like their culture. So it's like you grow out your hair while you're becoming a respectable person. So then when you cut it off, you're no longer respectable or whatever.
This is just,
The
cultures.
The cultures.
The cultures.
This is what happens in the cultures.
Yes.
So they're just kind of like, okay, well, I'm not going to be adhering to this cultures because they don't want me there anymore. Also, it helps a little bit with like disguising themselves.
That's true.
Because they are on wanted posters.
A little less with Iroh.
Yeah.
He literally
He's like, I'm cutting off my tiny little top bun. No one will ever know who I am ever again. Also, Zuko does have a pretty big scar on his face. That might be a little
yeah, that's true.
So if it were purely for disguise, I don't think it would be very effective.
God, I can't imagine like how stressed out I would be writing this show. And I was like, Zuko's trying to be in hiding, but he literally just has a huge thing on his face that just says, I'm Zuko.
I mean, his alter ego does like include a mask, so
yeah,
that's helpful. That's the last scene.
And it fades out.
I was thinking after watching this episode so many fucking times, I was like, this is a boring episode. But after watching it all the way through without pausing this most recent time that we did, and then talking about it, it's a really good episode.
It is.
Especially, it does start a little slow, but the second half is very good.
Yeah.
Also, we didn't really talk about this, but like the actual like fighting animation stuff, especially with like Zuko and Azula, is so good.
You get a double good fighting animations.
They build up like the impressive fighting animation so slowly that like it's almost hard to notice when it gets this good. But if you like go back and you watch the first couple of episodes and then you cut to like this one, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's so good. Oh my God. Yeah. Great episode, I would say. A great episode. I will use that word.
It is great.
What do we do next?
You looked at all the trivia, right?
Yeah, I didn't find anything particularly interesting unless you want to share something.
Here's a little bit of trivia. The writing on Zuko's knife, which he uses to cut off his little top knot ponytail, reads, "Never give up."
Just like the
without a fight.
Asiatic clam fisherman.
Like a clam fisherman.
Hey, I just found out that guy's like, he's not a fisherman.
He's
like a sports guy. He does like fucking like football or something.
So he was just fishing clams for fun.
Yeah, that was like, he probably only like, he like dipped his fingers in and grabbed like a couple and he's like, ooh, and then got back onto the beach probably.
Some sports people like take like ice baths.
But I'm just imagining him being like, oh, I'm going to do this for the clout. And then he like runs into the ocean and starts like pulling clams out of the sand. And he's like, take a video. Never give up. And then he just got out like right away. You know, it's just as inspirational, but.
My fan theory is that he was caught up in some sort of, you know, those movies or episodes that just kind of feel like fever dreams.
Oh, I thought you were going like a Breaking Bad direction with this, but
maybe that could be included, where it like kind of feels like a fever dream where you're like kind of like caught up and like doing all these random things. And I think he was caught up in one of those situations where he has to like harvest a bunch of clams because like he lost his wallet somewhere and like the wallet was found by this person, but he won't give it back unless he does this. Okay,
so like an MMO sort of like quest situation.
Like he had to like go into waters that are technically in a different country and he wasn't allowed there, and then like someone like sees him filming and someone would recognize him, so he's like, hey, you, or something. Like he's like trying to play it up. So I think this was an unplanned video. I think someone just took this on their phone.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was what I was saying too, but you just had like your backstory was a little bit more fun.
Thank you.
A little flirty. The moral is never give up.
Mm-hmm.
That's what everyone should be.
Without a fight.
What?
It says never give up without a fight.
Sometimes you don't need to fight, but if it requires a fight, go for it. 20 questions, though.
Yeah. My thing is General Fong's desk. What's yours?
I'm not gonna.
Gotcha.
Is it seen in the episode?
Yes.
Is it seen like in the blue avatars kind of way?
Blue.
Like, I see you.
Yes, and that you see it
with
in
your
the
eyes?
episode with your eyes.
Could I fit it in my mouth?
No.
Could you give it as a gift? Should you give it as a gift?
You could and you shouldn't.
Is it attached to something?
Yes.
Is it like a whole thing, or is it just like a piece of like? Is it just a piece of something? It's
a whole thing.
Okay. I'm just now realizing like I'm having my little Slumdog Millionaire moment where I'm like thinking about all of this is definitely not a Slumdog Millionaire moment. I'm just like flashing back, realizing how much like stuff there is in this episode. I thought it was very like empty, but there's so much.
Slumdog Millionaire, but it's just a guy trying to answer 20 questions on a podcast.
No stakes. He's still like sweating bullets. Does it exist in the real world?
No.
Is it organic?
Pass.
Do you not have enough knowledge of science to say whether or not it's organic?
Absolutely.
It seems like such a simple thing.
Yes.
My brain keeps going to Asiatic clams, but I know that can't be it.
That's me most days.
Especially the part that I know that it can't exist. Would it be offended if I said its mom was mean?
No.
Would it be offended if I said its mom baked bad cookies?
No.
Does it belong to someone?
Yes.
Does it belong to like one specific person?
Yes.
Is this person good or evil?
That's for you to decide.
I was trying to trick you into answering a non-yes or no question, and you accidentally passed. Could it be considered an item of clothing?
I personally wouldn't.
Is it used as an item of clothing that we see?
Not that we've seen,
Okay.
No.
Is it only featured in this episode?
Yes.
If I broke this down into tiny little pieces and then I put it into a pulper with water and then I squished it through like a little like a pasta maker, would it make a piece of paper?
No, it'd make pasta.
You got me. Is it something I would remember?
Probably yes.
You always overestimate my memory. Is this something that it's not like a specific shape?
I don't understand the question.
It changes depending on its container.
Not really, no.
Okay. Does this have like multiple components? Or is it like one solid thing? Or is it multiple components?
I think it's kind of both.
If someone ate this, would it change the way they act?
Yes.
I'm just going to take a shot in the dark.
Okay.
Was it like the weird caffeine drink?
No.
Okay. So far, it covered most of the, yeah.
I might go back on that. I would expect the experience of eating this thing to change the way that you act for a little bit.
Do we see someone eat it?
No.
Okay. Is there more than one?
No. At least not that we can see.
But there could be more than one.
There could be. We are led to assume that there is just one.
Is it alive?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Is it dead? Did it used to be alive?
It's non-living. I'll throw you that.
It's never been alive.
99.9% sure it's never been alive. It could have some dead thing components, but I would say it's never been alive.
Is it featured in the first half of the episode?
No. Wait. I think so, yes.
But it's more prominent in the second half of the episode.
Yes.
Okay. I just want to like cue you in, like let you in to my mind palace.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, like while I'm thinking, my brain is doing like the chung 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 chung, like that music that's like really intense, like the fighting music in Avatar.
Oh yeah.
But it's like just my brain trying to think. So I am having my own little Slumdog Millionaire moment.
Okay.
Turns out.
Yeah.
The stakes have become high.
The
stakes are me wanting to eat dinner.
Yeah. And you are like extremely sweaty everywhere. This is real sweat. It's not just me dumping water on you.
Of course. Could it be used to kill someone?
Yes.
Is it the never give up knife?
No.
God damn it. Noah has just moved himself to the air mattress in the spare bedroom, which we still have not disassembled from having family over.
No regrets.
Fair enough. I regret everything. I regret starting this podcast. I regret ever watching Avatar. Oh my God. My brain's not working. Give me a big hint.
Big hint. A big hint?
Yeah.
I can tell you who it belongs to. Do you want that hint?
I don't think that would help because I've already thought of everybody in the whole episode.
It belongs to General Fong.
Okay. I mean, I've already thought about him and his desk. Is his desk?
Yes.
Oh my God. literally the only thing that was keeping me from that answer was like I said, can I fit it in my mouth? And you like had to think about it for so long. And I was like, can't possibly be his desk. He would have just said no. So fuck you.
I mean, you can fit parts of it. You can fit the corner of a desk in your mouth.
God, you are squeaking and squishing so much.
Join me.
No, get in your seat.
Join us.
This is a professional setting. We're trying to maintain our professionalism here.
Is lying down on an air mattress not professional?
It's the least professional thing I can think of.
Do you not bring in air mattresses to job interviews?
No, I should. You're right.
Yeah.
That's why I've never gotten a job in my life.
Yeah. Not inflated, of course.
I have something.
You have to inflate it after you go into the room. Otherwise, it doesn't fit through the door. Just gotta wait around. Okay.
My thing is the mud that they throw on Aang.
Is it in the episode?
Yeah.
Is it wet?
Yep.
Whoa.
So specific.
Wow, already.
You already figured it out.
No scope. This wetness that it has, is it wet all the way through? Or do you eventually, I gotta frame this in yes or no?
Wet is a general property of it. You can't avoid the wetness.
Okay. Say, could I sell this online for $30?
You probably could.
Okay.
Wait, no. I don't know. No? Yes.
Okay.
No. I mean, you could. People just sell anything these days.
If I... Can you drink it?
No.
Okay.
You could. No.
I mean...
No. Well,
Like, is it physically possible to drink it?
I guess it depends, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm. If there was an episode that was dedicated to this, and the episode was called... the episode was called Aang Drinks Blank. Would you cut it?
Like, cut it out of the show?
Like, this
As, like-
episode
as,
doesn't
like,
need to be here.
a professional cartoonist?
As a professional producer of the show.
Of course, I
Of
would.
course.
But I mean, I wouldn't cut it out of like a fun little Nickelodeon short or something.
Okay.
That might be fun in
if
2019.
it was like part of the chibi animations that they did.
Now, this I would love to see.
That they did a little episode where they drink this. So it's people never actually drink this in the episode, right?
No. Don't drink it.
Is it a naturally occurring... Wait, is it a liquid?
That's complicated.
Okay. Say I just kind of pour this or whatever, place it, which way have you, into just a regular glass jar. Do you think it would fit the shape of the container of the jar that I have?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you say it has sort of like a honey consistency?
Consistency, no.
Okay. Is it kind of like a soup where it has like lots of
Why are you focusing on this? There's
It is a
so many
liquid.
other things to think about.
I'm just trying to figure out its shape.
I think you mostly got it. Why don't you ask some other questions?
Okay, here's a question.
Okay.
If I put it in a NutriBullet,
Oh my God.
would it really change the...
Would it fuck up the NutriBullet?
Would it fuck up the contents of this?
No.
Okay, so they'd be like relatively the same.
Yeah.
Okay, it's in the episode.
Yes.
Does this belong to one person?
No.
Okay. Does this mostly, would you say it just kind of belongs to nature?
Yeah.
Kind of like,
Kind of.
you
Yeah.
see like a tree in the background. It's like, I can't say that anyone owns that tree,
Yeah.
technically.
Leaning more towards that. Yeah.
Okay. Is it naturally occurring?
In this scenario, no, but it can be.
Is there more than one? I mean, like liquid is tough, but is there more? Is there more than one of what we see?
No.
Is there?
No. I'm thinking of a specific sort of thing.
Okay. Is this thing
Shit, I shouldn't have used the word thing. Sorry.
Okay.
I don't want that to mess you up.
okay? Is it? Does it contain life? Does it have life in it?
Probably, but
Does it have life in it like the same way that like swamp water has life in it?
Kind of.
Okay. Is it vegan?
I mean, vegan is already a complicated thing.
Mm-hmm.
When you breathe, are you breathing vegan air?
Yeah.
Microbes.
Is swamp water vegan?
Could you drink swamp water and still call yourself a vegan?
Honestly, looking at a microscope, those little dudes.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, I can't imagine like taking a drop of swamp water and then putting it under a microscope, seeing those little dudes, and then just licking up that little drop of swamp.
They want to live just as badly as I do.
I would feel bad doing that. Is it only in this episode?
Yes. I have this problem where I think of things and then I'm like, it could be this or this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really care. And then you ask questions like that and I'm like, well, I should have thought of something more concrete.
If I splashed it in my eyes, would it hurt?
Yeah.
Would it feel good?
No.
Too?
No.
No. Would I go blind if I splashed it in my eyes?
Now, I don't know about that,
Okay.
but maybe.
If
But no.
would you say it's a risk?
I mean, isn't everything we do a risk?
I mean, like, you could say...
Don't we take risks just waking up in the morning?
You could say you can splash cold soup in your eyes. You can splash water in your eyes.
Right.
You can splash a cup of orange juice in your eyes. You probably wouldn't go blind. Do you think there's a risk of being blind from splashing this in your eyes?
Probably not. No.
Probably not? Okay. Say you put a toaster oven on its side. Could you fill a toaster oven with this?
I don't know how much there is.
You don't know how much there is.
No.
You see it in the episode, right?
Mm-hmm. Why aren't you asking like different questions? Is my question to you.
Is it blue?
No. Is
it one color?
Yes, it's a cartoon, so yes.
Okay. Is it spiritual?
That's the question, isn't it? Apparently no.
Okay. Is it kind of could it exist in the real world?
I could recreate it and be like, this is the real thing, and there'd be no difference.
Okay.
So I don't know, like, take from that what you will.
Does a lot of its importance rely on sort of like social construct? Kind of like this is the beanie that John Lennon wore or something, where there's like 1,000 beanies that are just like this.
Kind of.
Kind of like that? Or
kind of. Sort of. I'm just answering your questions to the best of my ability.
Does Aang touch it?
Yes.
Is Aang the only one who touches it in this episode?
Unclear-ish.
Is Aang the only one that we see touching it?
I don't remember.
Okay.
But he's the only one that comes in contact with it that really matters, I guess. Noah's getting that face where he's like having his brain blast.
Is it in a dream?
No.
Does Aang touch it on the boat?
No.
Does Aang touch it in the...
Oh, boy.
We're
going to have a real green eggs and ham situation.
In the Earth Kingdom Alpha Base.
Yes. I don't know. Like, okay, tell me what you are meaning by touching it.
Like skin to thing
yes.
contact.
Okay, yes, then. Yes.
Okay. Does he touch it with his finger?
Doesn't seem like it.
Is it the mud that they throw on Aang?
Yeah. You got it.
Oh my God.
This is a mud. Is it spiritual?
Technically, yes.
Well.
It does have religious importance. Book 2 Earth, Episode 2. Aang eats mud.
Aang drinks the mud.
Not eats. Drinks the mud.
I feel like there are like people calling to me right now from like 2006. I feel like a weird sort of like...
I feel them too.
Summer. We have these burning questions.
Summer.
Please don't do what High School Musical did to me psychologically.
Summer.
I'm literally begging you to stop and never do that ever again.
I see the questions now.
Okay.
Force, powerful username.
That's just Force?
Force.
Okay.
Asks.
Not a band user, I hope.
Not banned.
He's not on Bandcamp.
Not on Bandcamp. Not band user.
Band BANNED camp.
Band camp. Asks, anyone know what was up with the hair cutting at the end? Is that Chinese or something?
Oof. Well, we already kind of like went over
we addressed
how much we know about cultures.
It's in cultures. Cultures.
Everyone should know cultures.
When you do something different, you cut off the hair.
Yeah.
As a part of the cultures.
Solid.
Yes. Next question. Green Lizard. Band member.
Friend of the show, Sue.
Green Lizard. Nemesis of the show. Nemesis of the Sue. Green Lizard. Band member.
What do they play? Sorry, go ahead.
They play bad takes. It's going to be interesting because I screenshotted these like a month ago and I don't remember what they say.
2 months probably at this point.
Well, another thing that doesn't make sense to me is that out of all of the avatars, which has to be at least over 200 past avatars,
Over 2?
can they honestly expect me to believe that not one of the past avatars has not died in the avatar state? That there wasn't at least one avatar that was so instance for the avatar that he or she wouldn't have died while in the avatar state.
Okay. Some weird wording here.
Yes.
They didn't.
They just didn't die yet.
They didn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
They were careful.
Yeah.
They had Roku there to tell them, don't do that. Morpheus showed up.
Roku, the very last avatar before Aang, was there.
This person knows nothing about destiny.
Mm-hmm.
You don't become the avatar if you're stupid.
And the thing is, like, the avatars are pretty powerful.
Yeah.
Right?
Especially in the avatar state.
The thing about the avatars in the avatar state that you gotta know is that they're probably the most powerful being in the world. Mm-hmm. And then someone's like, you're telling me.
I'm just now realizing, like, Roku probably saw Aang, like, oh, fuck. Like, he's going to be the first baby in the avatar state. This has never been a problem before.
Oh, Aang's probably going to be the first person in at least 200 avatars to fuck this up.
He's like, none of us had this problem.
Yeah. None of us even, like, went into the avatar state when we were 12. We don't even... You shouldn't even be in the avatar state. We don't...
Those hormones.
Those hormonal teens and their avatar states. Yeah, they were just that good. Ignite 444.
Whoa.
What?
Maybe that was me. That was my go-to number in
444?
2006 and on until 2007 probably.
Were you a Katang shipper to the end?
Oh no.
That's what it says on their...
No, I was Zutara, so...
Okay.
Eesh.
Ignite 444 says, I wonder if Aang will tell Katara and Sokka...
Was that a mistake they made or you made?
No, it was me. I'm sorry, Ignite 444, for embarrassing you so much.
I'm sure they're listening and they're blushing.
Aang's friends, guitar and soccer. Ignite.
I'm sorry. I just laughed so hard I completely disconnected my headphones.
Ignite
I can't hear anything.
444
Okay, go on.
says, I wonder if Aang will tell Katara and Sokka that he could disrupt the avatar cycle if he died while he is in the avatar state?
Sorry,
I've been wondering.
I'm thinking about soccer. Can you repeat the question?
They want to know...
I never thought I'd get into sports.
They want to know if he's going to tell Katara and Sokka about this.
The avatar thing?
Yeah.
Of course I will.
Yeah, they're his
best
friends. Thunder_713.
Pants. Thunderpants.
Thunderpants?
No?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
The pants that you wear to calm yourself down in a thunderstorm.
What does Thunderpants want to know?
Thunderpants asks, Zula was so wicked in this episode.
Do they mean that in a good way or a bad way?
She was just awesome.
Okay.
Especially her, what do they call it?
I wish we could...
Lightning or thunder bending?
Sorry, I just wish we could include Noah's gesticulations in the podcast because he's doing some good ones.
Mm-hmm. I gesticulate to fill
into
in
the fedora mindset.
I mean, I'm filling in the ellipses right now.
It did look like you were doing a jerking off motion, but go on.
It was just awesome, especially her.
Ooh.
Do they call it lightning or thunder bending? I honestly keep forgetting which it is, but either way, it was awesome. And would she really go so far as to kill her own brother?
This guy seems to be really into thunder.
Yeah.
It's not third.
Hang on.
I'll tell you, It's not thunderbending.
Hey, hang on. I'm sorry. I'm seeing their forum signature graphic.
Boy. I can't wait.
And it's a it's a picture of Zuko.
Okay.
And it just shows like Zuko like punching. He's in bald mode. He's just like punching, and it's got like fire there. And it has words on it. 3 words and a period, implying this is a sentence.
I love you.
And it says, you're close. It says, lava love God.
What?
Lava love God.
I don't even know how to, what?
Lava love God.
Okay, it speaks for itself. Not thunderbending. What was the other part of the question?
Would she really go as far as to make look like?
Yes,
To kill her own brother?
for sure.
She would kill her own brother.
She wants to so badly.
Okay. She's looking for like any excuse to kill her own brother.
She's just too twisted.
She keeps dropping hints that she's trying to kill her own brother.
Yes.
Kara asks, could Zuko kill Azula though?
That's actually a good question for once.
Yeah, that is.
I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think he would in the context of what we know so far. I don't.
But could he?
But could he?
If they were just one-on-one in a fight, could he?
No.
Anytime?
I think
Yeah.
Azula's much more talented than him.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
But could he psychologically? No.
No.
So no and no.
She's just better than him.
Yeah. There's no reality where he could or would kill Azula.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll get there.
Well,
Patience.
patience. Okay. Someone, 198, wrote a huge paragraph, but I luckily highlighted the question that they asked.
I hope it makes sense without the
Okay.
context.
Too bad Iroh's mysterious lightning bending ability is apparently not unique. But how in the world can firebenders bend lightning?
It's heat.
Heat.
It's the heat.
Lightning is just really fast fire.
Yep. I mean, it's technically static, but like
Electrons
science.
is fire.
We just need to like include Stephanie as like science corner.
Just like a phone a friend for Stephanie. There's too much chemical questions. Zenny RPG asks, was it Zuko in the little 2-second flashback? I thought it was Lu Ten. Like Iroh put his hand on Zuko's shoulder and flashback to him with his hand on his son's shoulder.
Fuck.
That's what I thought. But feel free to prove me wrong, someone, or point out something I didn't notice. I'd like to know how there's a consensus on this.
So disappointed that we lost like the hours of time we spent dissecting this little scene.
Yeah.
We really glossed over it this time. I don't even remember what we said, but it was so deep and good.
We did address this, that I don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know.
I think
it's open to interpretation.
Yeah, the ambiguity of this scene is what makes it interesting, because it could be any one of them.
Yeah.
But there's like a lot of weight depending on like any one of those sort of pairings.
Yeah.
So I think it is just kind of like, I think it just it allows the viewer to think about all of these relationships and remember the weight of them, and like especially in the context of like the scene that it like flashes in.
Yeah.
There's so many different things that it like reminds you of, and then especially if you've already seen the whole show and you see it again, it's just a very good kind of like, what is Iroh thinking? It could be like a foreshadowing. It could be like a flashback. It could be, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It doesn't feel like a ham-fisted flashback.
Right.
Like Emperor's New Groove style. I'm sure you remember the part where like Kuzco like pulls down like the black and white kind of things, and he like does red marker on all the things, and he like does like meta commentary about the movie.
Wow. Bold of you to assume that. I don't remember that at all. I mean, I'm sure it happened.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like, hey viewer, this is like this.
Right.
Avatar_Boston says, anyone think that Azula looks bad in this episode in Return to Omashu?
Like
By
evil?
bad, I mean her face.
Oh no. What? That's what you're gonna complain about? Wait, what? What?
By bad, I mean her.
Wait, what? I mean, if anything can be said about Azula is that she has a great face. She's hot as hell.
This post was written by Zuko. Sci Guy Second says, I can't believe no one has already asked this, but what did it say on Zuko's knife?
Never give up.
Never give up. The Face Stealer asks,
Oh no.
hey, does anyone get irritated by how times General Fong pleasures his beard?
Ooh.
Someone should count how many times he does this.
I don't like this question. I don't even know what it means. Pleasures his beard?
I want to know how many times for personal reasons.
I don't know what you mean by that.
You know, when you stroke your beard and like a cool guy.
Who says pleasures his beard? Who says that?
They seem like someone who's been like using this phrase their whole life, and everyone's been like too awkward to
Correct them?
like correct them and say that it sounds
A little
that it
gross.
sounds weird.
I don't have an answer.
No, pass on this one. Oblivion band member
Ooh, of course.
says, why is everyone saying the B plot was more interesting? I found the A plot to be gripping and wonderful.
Wait,
When Fong,
was there an A and a B plot?
the A plot is Aang, the B plot is Zuko.
I feel like those are just like A with like a little 1 and an A with a little 2.
But it's about Aang.
Okay.
It's about Avatar,
The Aang.
the Last Airbender,
The Aang plot.
the Aang plot, and the
Buko.
Bazuko, the Buko.
With like the emoji B.
with emoji B. So the Aang plot to be gripping and wonderful.
I mean,
Wait, I
okay.
found the Aang plot to be gripping and wonderful when Fong finally used drastic measures to put Aang in the Avatar state. You can't tell me that was more interesting than Iroh drinking the wrong tea.
Okay, wait. So what are they arguing that the B plot is better?
They're like, I'm team A plot. All you team B plotters are terrible.
We just discussed how the Aang plot was literally pointless.
It truly was pointless. We also just discussed that it was kind of boring until it got to the end where it was like, okay, I kind of like this.
I still feel like Buko's story was like more engaging. But does General Fong ever even show up in the show ever again?
Nope.
So
I mean, Sokka killed him.
you're right. He does. Silly of me to ask.
Fyodor de Question. The name is so long that it just cuts off. Speaking of that captain, does anyone know why he was so insistent that they were unable to land when they were clearly a good few hours away from wherever they were going? I mean, we see that it takes Azula and company a good afternoon before they actually reach their destination. So why was the captain so insistent that they would be unable to land if they weren't actually at their destination yet?
So this person's talking about the Tides guy, right?
Yeah.
Tide Pod man.
Yeah. How did this captain know about the tides?
It seems like they're suggesting that perhaps he had ulterior motives.
Okay.
Which would be a fun, interesting thing if that were true. I think it was just character exposition for Azula.
Yeah. I'm going to say it. I think he was a plant. I think he was planted there.
Like a tree?
By Azula to make her look good.
Okay. So like Azula hired him to say that so that the audience would be impressed by her response.
Yes.
Yeah, I can see that.
Azula is Deadpool.
Okay. You heard it here.
That's the show.
That is not the show. What are your cabbages?
My cabbages are vitamin D, calcium, iron, vitamin B12, and multi.
My cabbages are exactly the same. I would append that other vitamin D. Wink, wink. The vitamin D. Wink. And that's my cabbages. We should plug some stuff.
Okay.
It's really easy now that we have Linktree. Linktree is our sponsor for this week.
Yes.
You can find everything that I do at You can find everything that I do at Linktree/summer. That's linktr.e/summer. Also, I would highly encourage you, if you are on the fence at this point, please subscribe to my Patreon, patreon.com/summergeist. I have some new stuff that I'm doing now, like little, I'm doing this once a month. It's very manageable for me. I'm doing like actual, like little, they're not streams, like videos of my art process stuff. It's not so much like, ooh, come and look at my impressive artwork that I'm drawing, and more like, join me for like 15 to 20 minutes of me talking about my art as I draw it, and I find it to be enjoyable. I have been told it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
It's a pleasant sort of like podcasting experience, but with artwork that you get to watch me draw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I make a small cameo in it.
Oh, yeah. Well, yes, I only have one out so far, but I have my next one coming up.
Coming up.
What else do I want to plug? Well, of course, I don't have the Podcabbages Twitter plugged into my Linktree, so that's just My Podcabbages on Twitter, where you can find just kind of updates and stuff about the show and about Avatar in general. You can find us at My Podcabbages on Twitter. What about you, Noah?
You can find me at...
Isn't it just Linktree/Geist?
Yes. You can find me at Linktree/Geist. That's linktr.ee/Geist. Find all my stuff there.
I think it's been since we did our last episode, you just uploaded onto your Bandcamp a fun mashup.
Yeah, it's just like a mashup of like 40 songs or whatever. It's fun.
More than 40, if I remember correctly.
It's like 40 or whatever.
It's amazing. I am begging you. The reviews are pouring in. It's so good.
Thank you.
It is.
The review is pouring in.
No, all of our friends love it. It's good.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Check out our other stuff. We do love this podcast very much, but we do all sorts of other things too that we'd like you to check out if you like us. So,
yeah.
Check
out Summer's Twitter. I don't know how she posts so much.
Neither do I. I need to log off.
I have a billion drafts and nothing to post.
Noah has no commitments. He has commitment issues in that he just can't post online.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine.
Yeah.
You're a better man than me. I would also encourage you to go to noisespace.xyz for our other sister podcasts, like City Girls Make Do, one of the best podcasts on the internet, I would say.
Yes.
Henry Kissinger's Pokemon Going to Die, good leftism podcast, just a bunch of people hanging out and talking about random shit. And the politics and news, that too.
Yeah.
And what else?
Both with guests of the show, Alex Leaf Crunch.
Oh, yeah. Alex Leaf Crunch is a host. Stephanie does City Girls Make Do with Alex, who also does noise. Look, also does Henry Kissinger's Pokemon Going to Die. We're all just kind of like guesting on each other's stuff, just kind of wandering around, just having fun, podcasting fun.
It's like crop rotation.
It's good.
For podcasts.
Alex also has a podcast about Homestuck, which I have heard rumors that it's going to be getting started.
It's on Noisespace.
It's officially a Noisespace podcast
officially
now, so we can finally plug it. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff there. Just go to the website and you'll see all of it.
Yes.
And as always, thanks to Matt, Noise Space Overlord, for hosting us. Anything else we want to talk about?
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks to my cats for like getting me through like a severe depressive episode.
Yeah.
Just keep adopting cats and you'll feel better eventually.
Mm-hmm. Our apartment
It's a mess.
says 2 cats maximum.
That is true. I do.
You're at your limit.
I am under the belief because our our landlord was like, you can have pets, but you can only have cats, and you can have 2 of them. And I'm pretty sure this is like sort of like a fate, destiny situation where I was meant to live here. I always wanted the 2 cats, and now we've achieved that. And soon, my Ghibli destiny will be fulfilled. There's that little like hedge outside of the apartment. It's like a block away where it's like overgrown with weeds, and I think I'm supposed to walk into it and then like find little magical creatures.
Yeah. La's obsessed with it. She keeps trying to go in.
She keeps trying to fucking go into this hedge.
Yeah.
We can't walk her by there anymore.
Yeah. It's like an obvious signal that you're supposed to climb
Like,
headfirst
there's-
into this hedge.
There's stairs leading directly into the overgrown hedge.
It's
You can't even see through it. So
yeah.
thick. Look, I think about it every fucking day. Thanks for listening to the fucking show.
Thanks.
Cabbage.
What?
I don't know. Don't we usually do a cabbage thing at the end? Do we still do
Okay.
that? It's been a while. We've been eating a lot of cabbage.
Yeah, we have.
We've been putting cabbage on like everything we eat now. If you want some cabbage recipes, hit us up.
Yeah, since we moved, we go to a different grocery store, so we have like slightly different ingredients, including more cabbage.
Yeah, it's just cabbage based now. All of everything they sell out there is just cabbage based. You could call us Cabbage Patch Kids. We already made that joke.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll call the listeners Cabbage Patch
I think in
Kids.
like the first or second episode.
Okay. I think that's everything. So we can sign off now if you're ready.
Yeah, cabbages on my legs and my arms from you.
Wait.
Cabbages.
You were just
up
giving-
and down on my legs, my arms from you.
You were just giving me a hard time for making a joke that was already made. This is just like the first episode all over again.
Yeah.
Aww.
Aw, comes all the way around.
Just like a cabbage.
Because they're round
Bye.
and they're green.
Cabbage.
Got it.
But